Then what? That's it. That's the only guesses that I've got.
I'm just hungry, man.
Oh.
Real hungry, dude.
You want some of my baked potato?
You got some, sure?
Yeah, I got a baked potato. Okay.
When I teased to the most surprising story that Devin Supertramp told
left
us,
a word out.
I left a word out.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I didn't need that word. I'm not going back for that word.
But you should have taken your own advice about mumbling. If you make a mistake, you accept it and correct it.
Well, I accepted it.
You accepted it and moved on.
I felt no need. It's just like when you're going down the interstate and you miss the exit for the gas station. You're like, well, there'll be another one, or I'll just pee my
And here's
pants.
what happens when somebody does that. You missed a word, but I could not tell you what word it was.
Me neither.
But I know that something was wrong. It's like, he missed a word, but
yeah, one word.
I don't know it well enough to then say, you meant so-and-so. And I feel like most people would probably feel that way too. You know what he meant to say was the most surprising story we've ever heard on Ear Biscuits.
I feel like we could have talked about rules for sharing food for another hour. Maybe we can do an Ear Biscuit on the topic and continue it. Maybe not, since we just talked about it. But I will say, don't look at this because you might see my notes here.
Oh, okay.
I jotted down a few blanket rules because we that apply not to blankets, but apply to every food that you might think could be shareable and then how to share it. Mm-hmm. Because we got very specific in the episode, but I just felt the need to, we didn't talk about every type of food, so here's some rules that I'll propose that apply to everything.
All
and
right.
you tell me what you think about these. I'll go through all of these real quick. Because they all
You want to go through all of them?
They kind of work as a set. Like I'll just give you all of them.
Okay.
Just kind of think about it, and then we'll kind of revisit the ones that you want to follow up with.
Okay.
Agree or disagree with.
Agree.
Okay. So here we go. Professor Link's 6 blanket rules to cover everything else that you could possibly eat, but it doesn't cover eating blankets. Because who are we kidding?
What about pigs in blankets?
Nobody eats blankets. Pigs in blankets, different story.
Is it pigs in blanket or pigs in blankets?
Good
or
question.
pig in blankets? I think it's pigs in blankets if you eat more than one.
Pig in a blanket. Pigs in a blanket.
There's a blanket for every pig.
Can I have a pig in a blanket? I'd like 5 pigs in blankets.
If I was king, that would be the thing I said to everybody at the end of the speeches. And a blanket for every pig. It'd be that was what I
Like if you're
stand
running,
for.
like if you're running for office.
When I run for office, it's gonna be like Rhett McLaughlin for mayor. A blanket for every pig. You figure out what that means.
If one of your own children is eating something, the rule is you can take it at any time.
Parent tax.
And not just a portion, you can take all of it if you want to.
Yeah, true. You should take most of it.
They came from your loins.
Keep
or
them hungry.
Your spouse's loins. So, if it's someone else's child and you want some of what they're eating, you can take it when their parents aren't looking.
Okay, I agree with that.
If it's something that your girlfriend or boyfriend is eating, you just have to ask first. Okay? If they say no, that's a bad sign. If you're in a dating relationship and they say no, that's a bad sign. That's an evil omen for your relationship.
You think you should?
Going
you
south.
think you should have to ask?
It's no. I'm not. Yeah, I'm saying not only do you have to ask, but it is a test of your relationship. If you ever want to know how your relationship is going, ask for some of their food, and if they say no, you're on the outs.
It's over. Just move on.
If they're a friend, just take it when they're not looking. I do that a lot with you. I take a lot of your food when you're not looking.
You don't get any of my food, man.
You eat it so fast.
I'm so territorial. You can't get my food from me.
If it's a spouse, you can just take it when they are looking. But you don't have to ask. Just look them right in the eye and just take it and just keep talking. That's the rule.
Keep talking.
When you marry the person, when you can share a health insurance plan or whatever, then you can just take whatever you want, whenever you want.
If they're on your health insurance.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. If you both have, you have your name on a bank account or a mortgage, something like that, car payment.
Just look them right in the eye and take whatever you want.
Yeah.
What's yours is his and what his is ours, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And lastly, what's yours is mine and what's mine is yours. Right? Yeah, that's exactly, I said that the first time.
What's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
All right. And lastly, if it's a stranger, you have to wait for them to pay their bill and leave their table.
Which we have done. We had an egg roll. We shared an egg roll that was on a man's plate.
But it was a whole egg roll. It was not a bitten egg roll.
Yeah. He had not touched that egg roll. I'm pretty sure.
By the way, we did make a video in 2008 called Sharing People's Foods. Maybe you can search it. Part of the Alka-Seltzer Great American Road
It's
Trip.
on the internet?
We went to Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And we were eating strangers' foods, and we ate strangers' ice cream, like soft serve ice cream. We ate it.
Go up to somebody in public who's got an ice cream cone on a hot day in Chicago and asking them, hey, can I have some of that ice cream? And then we ended up tasting lots of people's ice cream.
And we put a point system on it to see who would win. And
it was anything. It was ice cream.
People were eating stuff outside in downtown Chicago, and we would just go up to them and like, hey, we called it mooch and munch. And you would, hey, that guy's got some coffee. You want to go up and see if you can drink some of his coffee. And then we ended up eating people's soft serve ice cream out of cones.
It was nasty, but people were totally into it.
Because there's different points. It's like eating ice cream after somebody, you get a certain amount of points. Eating someone's ice cream and then giving it back to them and getting them to keep eating it, that's even more points.
I feel like I definitely represent a person who eats a lot and a person who
you rep like as an agent.
Yeah, I am one of those people, and I always want other people's food. Always. I'm not a big fan of sharing food, though. I'm a taker. I'm not a giver, I will admit. So a lot of times, my wife and I will be at a restaurant, and she'll say, "You want to try this?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and I'll try it, and then I won't say, "You want to try some of this?"
And she'll be hurt by that.
No. And a lot of times she'll ask if she can have a bite, and I'm totally fine. And it is simply I want to eat all of this. It isn't I
want to eat all of this, and I want to eat all of that.
I want to eat all of this and some of that. I'm an all of this and some of that kind of guy, as opposed to some of this. I know you and your wife did something for a long time, and maybe you still do it, where you guys would go out on a date and you would get one entree and split it.
Yeah.
Or, which, I mean, I can't do that. It's not
and then we'd get desserts.
But sometimes you would get two entrees and split half and half.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. But
there's something
that's not sharing, that's like strategic variety.
I totally understand
where you divide it and then you each get half.
And philosophically it makes sense. But I get very nervous when I go to a tapas place because I know I'm the hungriest person there. I have the longest arms of anyone. You put those two things together, and I'm
trouble.
I actually many times when I'm eating tapas with a group of people, I visualize a pie chart that has everyone's name on it. How much food has this person eat? And I look at me, and I'm always like 80% of the pie. I'm like, Rhett is tearing this. I talk about myself in third person.
You draw pie charts in your mind and refer to yourself in third person.
Because I'm looking at people and I'm like, you know what? Those nachos came out, and I could swear I ate 60% of those nachos at this 10-person table. So I got to admit, I'm a hypocrite because I don't go by these rules because I notice that other people don't think like this. People are like just enjoying one another's company and talking, and they're in these deep conversations, and I'm like going, and every time a nacho finishes, I'm in there with my hand again.
Or you've been staring at one slice of pizza for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
9 minutes and 59 seconds.
All I'm thinking about for that 10 minutes is that slice of pizza. People are talking, it's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, that sausage and pepperoni pizza, I'm gonna have to get that. Sorry, I can't apologize for it. That's just who I am.
But my wife, Chrissy and I, we will not, we'll just reach over and start eating off each other's plates. I mean, it's like, I gotta get some of that.
My mom's just like me. So much so that my family, there's 4 of us, mom and dad, 2 sons, we would go to Shoney's and get the hot fudge sundae. Nothing gets better than that. It's so good. And
you can eat that because you would kiss your mom. Not make out with your mom, but you'd kiss your mom.
I never made out with my mom. They did. My dad and my brother instituted something, though. They said, Rhett and mom have to share because they both eat so fast that if dad shares with Rhett will eat the whole thing. If Cole shares with mom, They put the 2 slow eaters together and the 2 fast eaters together, and my mom and I would be like, it's like a contest, like that hot fudge sundae be gone.
You're like punching each other in the
look
face.
over there, and Cole and my dad would have eaten like 3 bites. And it's a pacing thing.
I do the "Are you finished? Are you done?"
Are you gonna eat that?
Yeah. But more like, "Are you finished? You're finished, right?"
And then, do you get it? Do you get some of it?
Yeah, I always clear the plates.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten to a point where I want, I'll get half as much as I want and then wait to see what my kids have left on their plate, just because I feel bad about, I won't eat all of their food if I've eaten a full plate, but I feel bad about them throwing food away. So I'll eat half as much as I know I want, and then I will eat the other half off of my 3 children's plates.
I do that, but it's like grilled cheese and chicken fingers and stuff.
No, my kids usually eat the same type of stuff. They just don't like it, so they don't eat it. But then it's just kind of cold. But at least I'm not throwing it away.
You're eating it so that it won't be thrown away, or are you eating it because you're hungry?
Both, because I only take half my serving. So I've engineered hunger to compensate for. To ready me for
maybe I should do that because I eat more than I actually want on my own plate, and then I eat their plates too. And not because I'm worried about waste, just because I'm like, well, there's more food out there. Somebody's got to eat it.
I mean, some crocodile dads eat their own young.
They do?
Yeah. I've never done that.
What about one of those devil babies?